Purpose today in this video we will be seeing the most important diseases, that is DPT, that is diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus, and the vaccination schedule associated with it. So let's start with diphtheria. It is also known as Klebsiella bacillus, and the causative organism of diphtheria is Carnibacterium diphtheriae, and it is a gram-positive bacillus, clutch-shaped and cuneiform, and it will be having metachromatic granules composed of polymetaphosphate, which is also called as volutin or Babus Ernst or polar granules. So the period of communicability is from 14 to 28 days from the disease onset, and the incubation period of diphtheria is 2 to 6 days. Then diphtheria is mainly because of the toxins, so it will produce toxemia only. There won't be any bacterial load leading to the disease condition. And then the modes of transmissions are droplet infection, direct contact or by fomate bond. Let's see the source of infection of diphtheria. So the carriers are considered to be the most common source, and among the carriers, nasal carriers are more dangerous than the throat carriers. Then the immunization does not prevent carrier state. Most common type of diphtheria is farsal diphtheria. In that we can see pseudomembranous pharyngitis, which will be having grayish white wash leather membrane over the tonsils, and then the cervical lymphadenopathy may lead to the formation of bull neck, which we can see in diphtheria. And the most important MCQ, they will be asking what is the causation for bull neck formation, that is cervical lymphadenopathy. Let's see regarding Schick test. Here it is an intradermal test for finding the susceptibility of diphtheria, and it is obsolete now, we are not using it. And let's see how it had been performed. In testing arm, 0.2 ml of Schick toxin had been injected intradermally, and in the control arm 0.2 ml of heat inactivated toxin had been injected, and the comparison had been made, and it has its own set of values and reactions. So now Schick test had been replaced by heme agglutination test. So let's see what we will do in this heme agglutination. That we will be doing the measurement of serum antitoxin level. Let's see the list of quarantinable diseases according to the Center of Disease Control. Those are, one among them is diphtheria, another one plague, then yellow fever, then smallpox, infectious TB, viral hemorrhagic fevers, and finally the thing which we are suffering now, that is severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS. So now let's see regarding pertussis, which is also called as whooping cough, and it was caused by Bordetella pertussis, and it is a gram-negative aerobic coccobacillus, and it is also called as 100-day cough. And the culture appearance would be thumbprint appearance, bisected pearls or mercury drops or aluminium paint appearance. Then the period of communicability, 7 days after exposure to 3 weeks after paroxysmal stage. Then the source of infection is mainly from case, and there is no subclinical or chronic carrier state in case of pertussis. And the incubation period is from 7 to 14 days. So make it clear about the period of communicability, incubation period and isolation period. These things are more confusing and more important too. And the isolation period is 4 weeks or until the paroxysm getting ceased. And the secondary attack rate is 90%. So let's see what is secondary attack rate. The probability of development of secondary case followed by the exposure to the primary case. So here in case of pertussis it is 90%, which is similar to chickenpox. So let's see regarding the last component of DPT, that is tetanus. The causative organism is Clostridium tetani, and it is a gram-positive anaerobic drumstick appearance bacteria. And the incubation period is from 6 to 10 days, and it is also called as 8th day disease if it is tetanus neonatorum. And then the elimination level of neonatal tetanus, it is less than 0.1 per 1000 live birth, which in case of leprosy also we had seen the elimination level. These things are more important. And the tetanus neonatorum had been eliminated on August 2015. Be clear with the year. This is also more important. The regarding one of the important MCQ, that is iceberg phenomenon of disease is not shown in. So it is measles, then tetanus, rubella and rabies. You can remember in the short form, that is MTR. So the period of communicability, there is nothing like that because there is no person to person transmission. And mode of transmission, whenever the wounds are getting contaminated with the spores, because we had seen in the real life scenario that once if we are getting wounded, we used to think about putting the tetanus vaccination. So tetanus toxin, it is considered to be the second most lethal toxin, and the first one is botulinum toxin, which used to cause food poisoning. And the lethal dose for 70 kg man is 0.1 mg of tetanus toxin. And let's see the rare reactions by tetanus, that is anaphylaxis, then brachial neuritis. And here herd immunity does not protect the individual in case of tetanus. This is one of the most important MCQ. And the tetanus is best prevented by active immunization with TT. Yes, we know apart from the national immunization schedule where we used to give DPT, we have to go for active immunization based on the DPT vaccination. So I will be explaining regarding that specific TT vaccinations. The immunity category had been classified as A, B, C and D. I will be explaining this A, B, C, D later. So here if the wound is less than 6 hours old and it is clean, non-penetrating with negligible tissue damage, then there is nothing required, and in case of other wounds also there is no need. And in case of B category, and here if toxide 1 dose would be required, and if in case of other wound also toxide 1 dose is enough. And in case of C category, toxide 1 dose, and in case of other ones, toxide 1 dose plus human tetanus immunoglobulin. And if the immunity category is D, where the vaccination had not been done under national immunization schedule for DPT, in that case, we have to go for toxide complete course, and in case of other one, we have to go for tetanus complete course with human immunoglobulin. Let's see regarding this A, B, C, D criteria. These things are more important. MCQs, they will be giving the scenario if the person had been vaccinated before our previous 5 years, what will you recommend now, like that questions will be there. So this is one of the most important thing. So the immunity criteria of A is complete course of toxide or booster dose if it had been given within the previous 5 years, and in case of B, the complete course of toxide or booster dose in previous 5 to 10 years, and C if it is more than 10 years, and D where there is no history, there is no like history of complete course of toxide or status is unknown. We have to go according to the tabular column which we had seen previously based upon this data. Let's see regarding the 5 clean practices under strategies for the elimination of national tetanus includes clean delivery surface, clean hands of birth attendants, clean cord cut, that is blade or instrument, clean cord tie, and then clean cord stamp, that is no applicant should be required. And along with that, 2 more cleans had been suggested and making it as 7 cleans, that is clean water, then clean towel for hand washing. So let's see regarding the vaccination dosage for tetanus toxoid of pregnant women. So in case of pregnant women, TT1 and TT2, the time to provide, one will be early in pregnancy and 2 will be 4 weeks after TT1. And simple, the dosage is 0.1 ml in all the thing, and the route is intramuscular and the site is upper arm. And the TT booster dose, if the patient, if the pregnant lady might have received the 2 tetanus doses in a pregnancy within last 3 years, then we can go for TT booster dose in case of next pregnancy. So let's see regarding the DPT vaccine. So it is a combined triple vaccine, we know, diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. So here D and T are toxides and P is killed acellular bacilli. Be clear with this. D and T are toxides. The dosage is 0.5 ml and the route is intramuscular. So be clear, Schick test is intradermal and BCG is also intradermal. And the site here in DPT vaccine is anterolateral aspect of thigh. Here aluminum phosphate or aluminum hydroxide is used as adjunct in DPT vaccine and it increases the immunogenicity of vaccine. Here thiomersal is used as a preservative in case of DPT vaccine. Let's see regarding the absolute contraindications. First one is severe hypersensitivity reaction to previous dose. Then in case of progressive neurological diseases, mainly active epilepsy, we should not give this vaccine. So let's see few other points, that is vaccine contraindicated in progressive neurological diseases. We had seen mainly it is pertussis component of this DPT vaccine which is contraindicated. So if the patient is having epilepsy which had been controlled by medications, or if the patient had cerebral palsy, in that case we can give the vaccine, it is not contraindicated. Only in case of active epilepsy we should not give this pertussis vaccine. And the vaccine contraindicated in age more than 2 years is pertussis vaccine, which may lead to the neurological complication, that is they had observed one case per 1,70,000 vaccinated individuals. Thank you so much.